FlyOver State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
This entire fucking game. Go to Suicide Kings before I.
Let's talk about another movie that Joe so gratefully pointed out. Came out in 1997. The movie I picked for tonight. The movie that Joe won. I don't remember how that went. It was only 10 days ago, I think. We recorded so much in the last 2 weeks.
No, we didn't record. It's just that you said released everything.
No, I recorded a lot too.
My man, look at him. Let's go.
He's just strutting all over you, Jesus.
TJ,
TJ peacocking around.
TJ deserves to peacock around. He won a game.
That's fair. TJ winning a game is a big deal. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Anyway, let's talk about Suicide Kings. 1997, starring a rogues gallery, a who's who of hot boys from the 90s. You got Sean Patrick Flanery, Jay Mohr, Henry Thomas, Johnny Galecki, Jeremy Sisto. Also, at the helm, you got the great Christopher Walken and Denis Leary hanging on like a goddamn dingleberry, just not doing anything in this movie, totally useless. The plot of the movie is these, like, I get to mention they probably met in prep school. They're friends from a rich background, a bunch of white boys. Decide they're going to kidnap a mobster and force him to, like, help them find his sister, or one of the guy's sisters has been kidnapped, and also front the ransom money because even though their dad's rich, he can't get the money to pay.
I have one question in this.
Okay, all right.
Just one?
Just one. Well, I have a lot, but just one.
Just mute yourself after this.
Was it enough to interrupt him during the synopsis?
It must have been super important, guys.
Actually, yeah,
so important.
I think it is.
Okay.
Are they supposed to be in high school?
Mm-mm.
No,
because one of them's in medical school.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. All right.
How
Because
could
when
you
he
miss
got up,
The one guy was almost a doctor.
Yeah,
I don't think Joe was watching very closely.
Well, when Big Bang Theory got so upset about the liquor cabinet, I was like, are they in high school?
Oh, no, he's just a wuss. He's just like a daddy's boy. He's just scared, Okay. Ira. He's the man, but to be fair, Ira's the man.
Yeah.
So anyway, the movie basically follows them and their plot and how they're inept and unprepared, and it unravels. When I picked this and when I saw it talked about online, people were saying how it's like a one of those post-Pulp Fiction kind of thrillers, and I get it, but to me it felt much more like post Usual Suspects.
I was
right?
gonna say, when
get a lot of monologuing and telling of
anything.
stories and unreliable narrators and twists and turns and.
It's funny. That's how I describe.
I finished this movie like 2 minutes before recording, so I couldn't Google when it came out. But I literally wrote, "What the fuck is that Kaiser Soze ending with the girl walking in the pier?" But yeah, it makes more sense that it came out after Usual Suspect. For sure, it feels like a Usual Suspect, especially with all the flashback sequences. There's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, a lot of like people telling monologues about things that happened, and you seeing little flashes of them and stuff.
Well, how many people's first time?
Josie. Oh, everybody's first time. Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to give, you guys want to, I don't know, how do you want to do that then?
So for me, I mean, the casting I think was incredible for this movie. Like, for these type of films, I think with the '90s that benefits '90s.
Weird to like
most.
Jay Mohr and things. I'm
Yeah,
like
imagine this
really
coming
good
out
in
now.
this.
You'd have to have we'll go back to our hey Yusef.
That was
Timothée Chalamet has to be in this. Fucking so and so has to be in this. Like all big actors. But this
that was
like
my first note.
it was like Jeremy Sisto, Galecki, fucking Mohr, Sean Patrick Flanery, and like these weird little
it's all on the back of Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
He's clearly the star, and then they packed it with kind of up and comers. You know?
Oh god, I want to get to I just I have this one fucking certain point that I want to make at the end, but I'm gonna wait for the end of the fucking whole thing to talk about it. But
don't forget it. Write it down.
No. I remember it because it makes me so angry throughout the entire film. It has something to do with Denis Leary, and I'm just gonna let it go.
Oh, he sucks ass. Yeah, you can say it right up front.
Yeah, sure, but dude,
who gives a fuck about the shoes? It wasn't funny. Shut the fuck up about.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of filling time.
Okay, no.
They think Denis Leary's
do you want to? Do you want to do anything else? Because I really want to get into what he just said because I think that's one of the best parts.
We haven't really talked about anything. So.
Yeah, no, Joe. What was your first impression, Joe?
I mean, it was fun. It was fine. But what stood out to me? You mentioned Jay Mohr. That's my first thought of the whole movie was, oh, this is when we put Jay Mohr in everything.
I just recently watched Go also, and he's in that. He's good in these movies,
no
but
one has ever,
I don't like it.
No one chose Mafia yet, which is something weird. I think that me might have picked Mafia for this. Yeah.
I've seen Mafia.
Be like, oh, let's watch Mafia one day. But I wish I never would pick that. But I'm like, I mean, I saw it in theaters, and that's all I think about.
He's rubbing his hands together thinking about making us watch Mafia. That's sick.
Jay Mohr at this time would have been in another Denis Leary classic with Small Soldiers, which also has an amazing cast. Yeah. But that was my impressions of this movie were oh, I did get a little Pulp Fiction vibe from the dialogue, right? It was trying to be snappy, and there's
very snappy. The dialogue is very snappy.
If Pulp Fiction was PG-13.
Especially when Jay Mohr is kind of explaining everything to Christopher Walken. I love the line where he's like, and you've got money, paper, that's the good kind. You know what I mean? He's really rattling off his little speech, you know?
I was explaining this movie, or at least what I thought this movie was, to a younger coworker of mine, a lot younger. And I was like, yeah, I think it's a Pulp Fiction knockoff. And he completely didn't, know what it meant. He was like, oh, what does that mean? You know, when I had explained to him, a John Travolta reviving the career and, snappy dialogue and, kind of
non-linear storytelling. They've been very popular.
and I was like, there's a string of them, and we've done a ton on FlyOver. But,
this did have a different vibe, though.
The movie just kind of moved for me, and then I don't know, I thought the whole plot line of the girl was just kind of stupid. They're fucking in a car at some point. It was just a very wasted. There's a lot of wasted screen time.
Faculty.
In an hour.
She's in the Faculty.
Yeah, there was a lot of wasted screen time in an hour and 40-minute movie.
She was also the mastermind in the Faculty.
Yeah. That was her whole deal in movies around this time. Apparently, was the innocent-looking girl who turns out to be the mastermind.
So, Yusuf, I don't know if you want to do your first time thing before I even jump back in.
Those my
first impressions, just based on what you thought you were getting into compared to what you saw, or whatever.
I had fun when the guys was being guys.
I'll add on to that. I'll add on to that, but I don't wait until.
I feel like it was stacked against, the expectation was stacked against it, because I legit hate Dennis and I legit hate Jay. I do not like them at all. It's one of those few actors.
Who is the fat guy from?
Dennis Leary.
Sopranos.
He's in the Sopranos.
He's the FBI,
so he's
FBI
the
agent.
guy opposite Dennis Leary. He's like, don't touch the fucking buttons.
Yeah.
That dude has probably some of the best dialogue in this film and the best acting because he just is all right, do you want me to reset it? He's like, don't fucking reset it. He's like, Troy likes how it is. And you're like, all right, I'm not going to touch it. I think
TJ,
he has
are you talking about the guy?
Yeah. So
I like my favorite line with that guy is where Dennis Leary, has his whole stupid thing with the with the guy and the bum, and which is like some horse shit. It's one of those like bootstrap bullshit kind of things.
Cigarette.
And then, but then I love when he goes. He's like, "Can you believe I gave that guy $500?" And he goes, "With that, and the boots, you're out $2,000."
$2,000, yeah.
You're talking about
side eye. He's like, I saw you look at the fucking boots. He's like, I didn't look at the boots. He's like, I looked at you side eye. You saw the fucking boots.
But I fully agree. I do like
scene stealer.
I like the reason. Like, I like the scene where he goes and beats up that guy, but it's totally unnecessary. Like the old hilt rapist guy. It's a cool scene, and like I like Denis Leary. Like I like the dialogue, and I like the way it's written, and I like what happens and everything. But like I just kept thinking, I was like, anybody else could have been so good in this. Like,
I
also maybe put a person of color in that role. Here you go.
I tweeted that, and this movie would be 10 times better without him. And also, like, I loved anything Christopher Walken and his pitch black hair. Like, he ate this movie up. Like, if a drop of water
Walken is like talking one-on-one with one of the guys is so good. It's amazing. And
but if
the
a drop of water,
Christopher Walken with his long hair is incredible.
That's what I was going to mention.
You could do this whole movie for just the flashback. He's dancing.
And the one chick he saved. It was like I think Jeremy Sisto is a fucking standout too. TK, the kid who's like fucking doing the drugs in the bathroom.
Yeah, like
I feel like
that's another thing they're real good about, peppering through like everybody's hiding something, so it keeps you guessing on who could be involved because everybody's got just enough reason to be a suspect, except Johnny Galecki.
I thought it was Johnny Galecki because he was the one who fucking didn't give it up at all.
Yeah.
So before I saw Harry Knuckles, I'm like, well, Ira. Probably Jewish. You know what I mean?
But yeah, overall the movie is kind of a fun premise, but there's a bunch of editing and visual choices that and score. Like Joe mentioned, the rain scene. The fucking soundtrack goes up to 11.
They bring that song back to the end. Like that's the song for the big finale too. So they need you to remember that song, so when they bring it back, it means something later. Even though that scene is one of those usual suspect scenes, it never happened. That whole thing with them in the rain, kissing, getting kidnapped, never happened. It's just a totally made up, unreliable narrator.
Yeah,
they show us
but
it's a story.
Sailboat scene.
Tim Roth in the bathroom in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. But yeah, I hated Johnny Galecki. Like, it was one of those characters that are unnecessarily dumb. Like, oh, but what is happening here? And what about this? And look at that guy. What are we doing here? Like, dude, connect the dots. Like, it's pretty straightforward. There's a dude strapped to the
highest paid actors of all time.
You cut off his finger?
Yeah.
It's also like they put out like that scene where he's like, where'd you get my the whole security system in his parents' bedroom where he knew where the gun was? But he's like, you show us the gun every fucking summer, like. He must have a dark side where he gets fucking hammered and is like, this is my dad's gun. Watch me with my dad's gun. Like,
well, he clearly wants to impress these guys. He's like low man on the totem pole and whatever.
Yeah. The alcohol scene just bothered me so much.
Oh yeah,
it was Johnny Galecki.
When he's filling up with Evian and the fucking the funnels and shit like that.
Yeah, and then you look at the liquor cabinet and it's just like Maker's Mark. It's just like 6 bottles of Maker's Mark.
Well, the first drink that fucking Christopher Walken asked for when he gets in the bar is Maker's Mark on ice.
It was Maker's Mark,
yeah.
I don't know if this movie's fucking funded by it, but why not? It's like Zack Snyder. It's like, hey.
Maker's Mark.
I did like the pinky reveal.
But my thought was like, that would be a really cheap bottle to replace Johnny Galecki.
Yeah, it's just $40.
Yeah, you're clearly old enough to buy booze. Just put it back. Well, I think he was more mad that they broke the lock on the cabinet than anything, too. Like, that's not cool. They did fuck this place up. Every chair that had duct tape on it, that chair's ruined. Those are antiques. Yeah. Those chairs are fucking ruined. They fucked that dude's life up.
And then he just destroyed all the vases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even did anyone get sad? Like, once you realized, if you want to wrap this up or get into the end of the film, did anyone get sad for fucking the Garrett character and what's his name when they got shot at the end?
Oh, the Brad Garrett, the fake man. Well, it's one of those things.
I got upset because Christopher Walken looked like he was upset. He was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, well, it's a thing where they legit were that's the thing. It's it's one of those twisty ones. You got to kind of like those guys are legit bad guys. They did threaten Henry Thomas.
Yeah.
They were gonna like kill him or make him do a kidnapping on his sister. But then the sister and the boyfriend like come like kind of circumvent and are like, you don't even have to kidnap, we'll get the money and it'll be even easier and blah 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 blah. So it's like I feel bad for them to some extent, but they were scumbags. Like they were totally gonna do the thing. They just didn't end up having to that time. He did pull a gun on his friend and stick it to his head, and like just happened to get lucky that he didn't blow bad Garrett's brains all over the house.
I'm kind of sad that because I got excited when he came on screen, but I think this is this during or pre Everybody Loves Raymond?
It would have to be during 97. That's during.
Well, that's be early.
97 was like the first or second season.
Because I saw him and I was like, oh yeah. I thought it was gonna be more, but it was very like limited and very one note. So I was disappointed with his character.
I just realized where I know his partner from. He's the new fish from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, new fish.
I couldn't piece it together last night.
Did he?
Well, one guy was in Clueless.
Did they?
The druggie.
Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond was 96, so yeah, this was like
he would have just kind of started on it.
Yeah, he probably didn't think it was
before, you know.
He probably didn't think it was going to get picked up or something, you know.
Oh, the first couple seasons you're on a show, you're still a working actor. You know what I mean? You got to get out there.
I don't know. It's like so that last like 10, 15 minutes when things started getting violent.
I was saying, how did you guys, as first-time watchers, how'd you feel about the reveal of the truth of what happened? Were you ahead of it at all? Did anything surprise you?
I didn't realize it was a fucking cat. Spoilers, by the way. They're talking about like feed her, do the whole thing, keep her in the room. I mean,
Sarah had picked Henry Thomas. I was watching with Sarah, and she got sucked in, and she had picked Henry Thomas.
I love. And
I remember, like, I kind of didn't remember when I started, but like as soon as I was 10 minutes into the movie, I remembered everything. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
I knew it wasn't fucking Patrick Flanery. I knew it was probably going to be the brother. I love Henry Thomas. Gangs of New York. Let's go. But
he's great in this. Actually, I think everybody, despite, I also agree with,
hey, relax.
You said that I don't like Denis Leary and I don't like Jay Mohr, but I do think they both give pretty good performances in this, despite Leary being totally unnecessary.
There is a moment. Actually, there is a moment. I have it written down. Actually, the bartend scene. That is a legit good moment when he's like, he gives them like money and he's like, oh, don't worry, Christopher Walken treats me right. He's like, all right, cool.
Take some money back. That's funny.
Denis Leary felt like someone, like how someone probably in the Eternals is going to be like, I don't know, we're just able to get Kumail, so we just filmed a few scenes with him in it. That's what Denis Leary felt like. It's like we're able to get Dennis.
Brian, do you want to tell like the whole like twist of this before I fucking tell what I want to say at the very end of this film that made me angry?
Oh no, I think I kind of spoiled it already. Like you find out that Henry Thomas has gambling debts, so he sets up his own sister's kidnapping. But then there's a double twist where you find out that she's not really kidnapped; she's in on it, and they kind of her and Stephen Dorff, or no, I'm sorry, I want to call him Stephen Dorff, Sean Patrick Flanery, her boyfriend, who's her boyfriend.
That's good.
Kind of like. Circumvent, and they're going to split the money with the robber guys, and they're going to run away together.
Let me ask you guys a question. You're Sean Patrick Flanery. You just got
or Stephen Dorff, whoever you are.
Yeah, you're jacked though. You have abs. You get out of the ocean. You fucking got pecs, biceps, and you you get on the ship. You see a fucking ring, right? Regardless of what you think's going to happen, it's Christopher Walken, mind you. What age do you think he is?
Mid to late 60s in this.
Now you see what's his fucking face? His driver.
Denis Leary.
How old do you think he is?
I was 40s.
Good with the gun, right? Maybe good with the gun. Maybe quick. If you're sitting there and you see that fucking ring and do the whole thing like, where's the money? I would beat the shit out of Denis Leary.
Oh, you just get shot.
No, dude, I'll be like this. I'll be like, "Whatcha, hata," and I'd attack him and fucking dig in and fucking drop him on the fucking back and just do this whole like,
bang, 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 bang,
and then I grab fucking
bang, bang,
balls
bang,
and
bang.
I
Quit grabbing me, bang, bang.
Bang.
I thought you were gonna say more realistic would just be like fuck the girl and dive into the ocean and swim
Oh,
for
that's
it.
what I thought you were going. Yeah,
Look for air bubbles.
Like go up.
You just arch back into the water like whoop, like a dolphin.
Right. Fair enough.
You
But
see
also,
me like right above the water
know?
line, just
rated.
going like that.
That's rated.
Fuck that shit. Oh yeah, it was kind of, and the ending was so badly edited.
Oh, terrible.
It went grainy, and
Well, yeah, they were trying to do like an artsy thing with the killings. Maybe that might have been a like I don't know. Maybe that was a rating.
was
This is
not
a rated R movie though. It's R.
Well, my whole thing
There was
was
not a
I
happy
thought it was
ending,
gonna
and it
end
just went to the
happy,
credits.
and I'm glad it ended sad, where like people got murdered.
Yeah, it has the right
no way this
ending. It
fucking
could have
happened.
easily had a
No,
dumb
it ended
happy
happy. It ended
Also
happy
had-
because Christopher
also had the
Walken
most-
was the best character.
It
He
also
was
He
had the
deserved
best-
his money back.
It was really the best character.
It also had the
Hands
most 90s ending, though, with that, like, kind of pop song playing and everyone just, like, doing their thing after the crime. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the events after, pre, like, the boat edits cut and them dying. It just felt the most 90s where it was about to be like, and so died in a fire. Blah, 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 got
Well,
rich
and
off
it's
of
like,
Bitcoin.
I mean, I don't know. I guess Henry Thomas is cool. Is his debt wiped clean because like those two guys, Hitman, got killed, but they were just working for somebody, right? Like, so that money had to go up the ladder to someone.
And that
felt
cat
bad
has
for
no one to take care of her now.
Well, I think Christopher Walken and Denis Leary took that cat with them.
So the last like 10 minutes of the movie, Laura was out to dinner with her girlfriends, and they all came back, and I was watching it, and they sat down and they reacted to like I was not reacting to anything in the movie, and they were reacting to like the shots in the knee, the leg, and like all the blood. And I was like, oh, you guys are having reactions. Like, oh my god, who's that? Who's that? And I was like, shut up, I'm just trying to finish this movie.
Sarah loves to come into the end of a movie like that.
And they were like, that's how it ends. And I was like,
so
yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it. I guess.
Yeah, that's I don't know. So we rewind it. Want to watch the whole movie again with me?
It was like,
Yeah, I always go like, no, I can't. I'm not gonna explain you the entire fucking movie. I can't do it. I'm sorry, no. Like after I answer like one or two.
Like, hey.
No. I just.
Oh, nobody's bothering me, I guess.
The worst part of the ending, I'll say this, or at least my least favorite part of the ending on the boat, is the way it was shot. How it doesn't compare with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And it goes right into that credit with the... It
does vibe a little with like some of the flashbacks. The grain, they use the grain in the flashbacks a little bit, but
it's bad.
All right, are we ready, Yusef? Is it time?
Let's go into the rating.
Rate this movie. Rate movies. Woo. How would you know how much you like something if you don't give it a numerical value, guys?
That's true. TJ, what do you think?
I'm gonna go a clean 7.5. This one was fun. I loved a lot of the talk and the it had Tarantino feel, but if Tarantino was like, I'm gonna go PG-13, it's
good dialogue and it feels natural between friends. Like those guys feel like they know each other. They feel like they have
and even the Jay Mohr part where he's fucked up between fucking up Sean and fucking up Henry, where he just wanted to be the boss of this crazy ass group of guys, and he's like, what the fuck is happening? Guy sucks, but at that point it was dope. So I guess
best part, guys being dudes. That was the best part of this whole movie. Just guys being
Saturdays
dudes.
are for the boys.
Just broing out. The scene where the security guard almost catches them, and then they're in there playing. They look like they're about to play poker. Joe was like, "Finally, the movie's starting. All right, they're about to do some cool shit."
I didn't like this as much as TJ, and before I rank it, is this the second? Because I feel like on FlyOver he's done a lot of these Tarantino